What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel and my very first video here. So we're actually going to jump right into the first round of the Nations Cup, or how it quickly became known as the Porsche Cup, because everyone and their mother clearly knew that the Porsche was the strongest car for this race, and it very quickly became the meta. So real quick before the race starts, I am in a B-rated lobby, and my god was this race chaotic from start to finish. So we're actually going to jump into the Canadian ahead of me and to see how he very quickly handed me a nice gift. So not sure what happened here, if he forgot to brake entirely or just braked way too late, but not only does he take out the American in first place, but he also takes himself out of the race right in the very first corner, and I'm behind all of them just trying to get the race started, and I get handed first place right within the first corner. So very fortunate, not complaining, but as you can see, very chaotic start. So can't believe what just happened, but again, can't relax too much right off the bat just because there is a group of 4 to 5 Porsches right behind me, so they're definitely putting a lot of pressure on me. Can't afford to take it too easy, but again, can't afford to over push the car because this thing has damn near 1,000 horsepower, and it was super easy to spin out the car or even outbrake yourself. So definitely want to try to stay consistent and not overdrive the car, which is actually pretty easy to do, as you saw right from the beginning. So again, nice little train of cars right directly behind me here. So definitely not out of the clear yet, but we're actually going to switch to the American Bubba directly behind me, because he and I had a pretty good battle. As you can see there, another American had about a 5-second penalty behind him, so I'm not too sure what happened there. But like I mentioned before, I didn't have a lot of confidence in the car. This is my first attempt at the Nations Cup here, and so I was still trying to get a feel for the car. So I did have a nice little gap between me and Bubba here, but I definitely felt like Bubba was a little faster than me in some of the sections. So in knowing that, I knew I definitely had to pick up my pace to get away from him, but at the same time trying to battle nerves, being in first place in the very first lap. Nerves definitely picking up here, so trying not to over push the car too much. You know, my fastest lap time on this place I think was like a 47, so definitely not the greatest. So I knew there were probably faster cars ahead of me, but I was trying to stay consistent, trying not to make any crucial mistakes, which I think I ended up doing in this very same lap. I made a couple of mistakes that brought the gap closer, but just trying to remain consistent as much as possible. So again, that gap that I had at the very beginning quickly closed up. As you can see, again, group of 4 to 5 Porsches directly behind me. So we're gonna switch back to Bubba's view here. I don't know if he had the slipstream here, but he definitely was able to gain on me relatively quickly. And what was interesting to me is that he was actually driving an automatic, which I didn't think was a thing. But these downshifts in automatic mode definitely hurt the ears, because it's not how you want to be downshifting. But either way, he clearly outbraked me there in that corner and it caught up to me, and this is where I definitely felt the pressure, because I did make some crucial errors, as you can see here. Braked way too hard, way too late, went really wide there, definitely lost a couple of seconds. And I definitely think Boa had the pace to overtake me, but he might have been a little tentative to try it, because like I said, I definitely left the door open for him to overtake me, especially here. As you can see, again, braking way too late, going way too wide. Definitely had a better run over here, but as we come down the straight here, if he wasn't in the slipstream before, he definitely is now. But looking back at this replay, I don't think he was all that confident in this sector here, because he definitely slowed down a lot, and I'm pulling away from him ever so slightly here as he touches grass here again, maybe slowing him down a little bit. That's a little bit of foreshadowing for you guys for a little later, but the group behind him definitely closing in, and again, there's another spin out from 5th place there. So definitely very easy to do in this race. So as we're approaching the back straight here, you can see the same group of Porsches behind me, but what we're gonna do is go straight to the beginning of the 4th lap, because I mentioned Bubba wasn't all that confident in this sector, and it shows here because he unfortunately touches grass and smashes straight into the wall, which is not something you want to do. So we're actually going to skip ahead to lap number 7 here, because after Bubba effectively eliminated himself in the race, I had a pretty big gap, but that gap is quickly closing by the Canadians behind me. Like I said, I didn't think my pace was all that great in this race, but I stayed pretty consistent, so I think that allowed me to remain in the lead. But they were closing in the gap a little bit quickly. So what we're actually going to do here is switch to the point of view of the American behind us here, as he overshoots that corner and loses 2 positions effectively. But he actually had a pretty good battle here for a little bit anyway. As you can see, he gets a good run in this corner and he's able to capture 3rd place momentarily. So he goes into Lagusi, slips in behind him to get that slipstream, and now he gives him a bit of a bump drop, but it pretty much catapults him forward, and the American doesn't really account for it and brakes way too late and sends Gimpy straight into the wall there, followed suit by the American. So both cars were damaged. The American gets a 2-second penalty on top of it all, but he's not done there. He joins the race again and effectively performs quite a lovely pit maneuver on Lagusi here. Spins him out, eliminates him from the race, and well, poor Gimpy over here, massive car damage is going to slow him right down. And me, unbeknownst to me, all this is happening behind me. I went from like a 2-second lead to like a 6 to 7-second lead. No idea what happened, but I was handed yet another lovely gift in this race. Because with Gimpy being damaged to that extent, he's not going to be able to catch me. And we're going to fast forward here to the end of the lap, the last lap as it were. And all I have to do is just bring this car home to the finish line. So quite a number of gifts handed to me this race. I'm not too sure if I deserve this win, to be perfectly honest with you, but hey, I'll take it. I stay consistent, and you know what they say, if you're consistent in the race and your lap times are consistent, you're gonna do pretty well. So I think the real story here is that American in 3rd place, because he was the one who qualified first, got punted off in the very first corner, and he was able to climb back from last place to 3rd place, which I think is a great news story. But yeah, we're coming up to the last corner here, taking it easy, not doing anything stupid, and was able to secure the 1st round win. So hopefully I can take that momentum and carry it forward into the 2nd race. But I want to thank you all for watching. This is my first video on Grant Turismo. I hope to do more later in the future, but let me know what you thought of the race, my commentary. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.